Hello everyone and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, and today's video, y'all ready for this? We're going to do all Dormammu. I love this card. Is this the best card in Marvel Snap? Nope. Is this the best card this season? No. Is it broken? Nope. Why do I like it so much? This creates multiple new decks. We're going to look at 4 decks that would not exist without Dormammu. We've got 4 new decks for Dormammu, and he makes the classic destroy better. He is a really fun, really powerful card that creates interesting gameplay and really fun patterns on the board. I very much like this card. He is extremely easy to counter. You can just run stuff like Fenris Wolf. You can use that like discard Surfer that Dark Razor made. You can run the old Havoc Cosmo list, and that'll do the job more or less. There's lots of ways to beat this card, but he is a blast to play. I love him. If you don't know what he does, he is a 7/11. Great stats, but you don't actually have to pay the 7 energy to use him. At the game start, he begins a summoning ritual and adds the first step to hand. Step 1 is a cost 0. On reveal, merge your highest power destroyed card with Dormammu to continue the ritual. So, what happens is, as soon as you've destroyed 1 card, you immediately, even that same turn, can play that ritual. Once you play that ritual, Dormammu merges with that card. If the only card you've destroyed is Hood, you now have a 7/8 Dormammu. If you've destroyed anything bigger, even a 2 is going to make him a 7/13. Not bad. Hitting a demon feels real good, and all of a sudden you've got a 7/17, so on and so forth. Remember that you did have that power on the board, though, so while he's absorbing it, you're not actually really gaining power so much, you're just sort of transferring it to a later point in the game. After that ritual takes place, and you do have to actually merge, or otherwise it fails, and then you can't do any of the rest of the steps. But the next thing you do is you get a cost 1 spell. This one, Dormammu steals 1 power from each other card here to continue the ritual, and then you banish that one. So that one doesn't actually have to hit anything. If it steals 0 power, it's fine. You'll just get that first spell on Dormammu, but you should be able to generally get some power. A thing that's reasonable to do is if you take some power from your own cards and add it to Dormammu, then when you use the third ritual, which destroys 2 of your cards, you're hitting 2 of your weaker cards, which ends up being pretty damn good. This one is so cheap, it's really strong, it's very, very disruptive, because a lot of low power cards don't really like having their power drained in that way. We get the final and third ritual. I'm so happy they decided to only go 3 because it is the right number. This one costs 3. If it costs 2, I think Dormammu might actually be broken. But cost 3, on reveal, destroy 2 of your other cards here to summon Dormammu. And so you want to try it. This can be anything, right? This, you can actually hit the X-23. You can actually hit the Wolverine. But you can also get rid of a Bucky Barnes, turn that into a Winter Soldier, stuff like that. So you end up getting this extra power. If you manage to do that on turn 5, you've now destroyed 2 cards to make your death cheaper. This can really, really power up a null. All that stuff works super well together. And then you end up with, generally speaking, like a 7/16, 7/17 on the board, which just seems nice, right? Like a US agent proof thing. Can still be shonged, fine, so be it. But like even if they shong you, you have so many other things you can do in and around this card. It's super strong. The first deck I want to talk about for Dormammu is Comies' deathmu, and the reason we're starting with Comies is newer players might not realize this, but about a year ago, a little over a year ago, Comies was the Marvel Snap World Champion. We didn't run a Marvel Snap World Championships in 2025, but in 2024 there were a series of tournaments that fed into a World Championship tournament that Comies won. The former Marvel Snap World Champion doesn't play at the top of the Infinite Leaderboard anymore, but he is still often in the top 100, and he created this list that I played with and had a lot of success. We don't actually know if this is his exact list. Shang and Joyer sent what he thought the list was to me after playing against it. You can find Comies at twitter.com/Comies01. This deck needs Dormammu, Mockingbird, and X-23. Nico can be Hood. Now, before we go forward, I'm going to leave this on screen so you can look at this deck. Tomorrow's videos are going to be strange. I have a bunch of really, really cool decks to show you in the morning. But I also have a Sanctum Showdown video to make for you. So I don't think we're going to do an OTA video for the OTA the second it comes out. If you're interested tomorrow, I'll be streaming the podcast, Snap Judgments podcast, on the Twitch at around 8:30 p.m. Eastern. At that point, we will go over the OTA live on the air, and then we'll make that video come up as soon as possible if you want my OTA takes. And then Friday, we'll do, as always, our top 10 decks in Marvel Snap. So hopefully that is an acceptable series of outcomes for you. I know that I'd like to do the OTA video, but the Sanctum video is just more important for right now. Cool. If you have any problems with that, let me know in the comments. I mean, you can still change my mind, right? The videos aren't made yet. All right, so Nico here is amazing. Nico's best spell is obviously to destroy 2. If you can go Nico into destroy 2 into immediately starting the ritual, that's really strong. Drawing is really nice here too because you do want to see like a bunch of cards. You want to get your Mockingbird and Death as cheap as possible. You need to draw them. You don't want to draw Dormammu, but if you do, it's not the end of the world. Nico's destroy is very, very powerful in these lists. Nico's other spells are sort of mid. The demon ends up being okay, in particular on a squirrel. On a squirrel girl, it's really good. You can use it on a Mysterio clone if you can, and then destroy that. Dormammu is going to merge with the highest power thing killed, so that's a good way to get that demon onto Nico. Squirrel girl is very nice. She has 2 uses here. First is she's a, well, I guess 3 uses. She's a 2 if you kill the squirrel herself for Dormammu, which isn't great, but it's not terrible. She also discounts Mockingbird by 2. When you destroy her, she destroy all of her squirrels. She discards death by 3. That's really, really nice. X23 gives you extra energy. That's all it's here for. Extra energy, good. You're running 3 ways to kill her, so enjoy. Carnage, sorry, let's come back to Carnage. Bucky is one of the best cards in the game to destroy. You get a 2/7 out of the deal. 2/7 is just a lot of stats. Very often, you just like Carnage the Bucky lane with another card there, and now you've got like a 12 power lane, or sorry, 13 power lane, which is just a lot of power. Bucky is just really good. It is the single best target in the deck, except maybe X23. It's a toss-up between those two for what you want to hit with Ritual 3. Carnage, Killmonger, and Venom are your 3 destroy cards outside of Ritual 3. You play them to kill stuff. Mysterio's kind of great here. You can do some cool stuff with Mysterio with Nico. You can do some cool stuff with Mysterio, like with Carnage, reasonably well, and it makes your Mockingbird really, really cheap, and it gives you some extra fodder to destroy for spell 3. Getting the Mockingbird down to 3, and then if you have Mockingbird and Squirrel Girl, like, I've gone Squirrel Girl into Mockingbird, right? And now you just discounted your Mockingbird by 5. You have a 1/9 to play that you can play with a Carnage and the beginning of the ritual on turn 3, of all things. That's insane. That's so strong. So Mockingbird gets super cheap thanks to Mysterio, and it offers you lots of extra tools. We want a 3-drop that we want to play at the end of the game, which means we're running Juggernaut or Sage, because sometimes we're going to need to use Ritual 3 at the end of the game. We need to use Ritual 3 at the end of the game. That's 3 energy. Our other 3 energy is Juggernaut in order to win the game. Killmonger destroys all the ones at large. Venom destroys a bunch of cards and keeps the power. Sometimes you're going to need to like destroy a card that's not necessarily that's bigger, right? Like a Mockingbird type thing, and Venom at least lets you keep the power for that. Mockingbird is big cheap power, Death is big cheap power, and then Dormammu is big cheap power. Dormammu costs ultimately 4 for like 17. Death is hopefully a free 12, and Mockingbird's like a 1-ish 12. Also, by the way, the Winter Soldier will also make the Bucky cheaper, as will Nico turning something into a demon. This list puts up a lot of power in very, very interesting ways. It's only got a little bit Quillmonger and Juggernaut in terms of interaction, but it's still very strong. So again, if this isn't exactly Comies' list, Shang and Jory sent it to me. Shang and Jory, who is just a finalist in the Snap Judgments League, great player. He's been around these parts a lot. Turn 1 is anyone. Turn 2 is 2 1s or Bucky. If you have Mockingbird and you had Squirrel Girl, please feel free to drop Mysterio. Turn 3, destroy and immediately Ritual 1. Turn 4, destroy again and immediately Ritual 2. Turn 5, we want Mysterio and another destroy. If we played Mysterio early, we'll play whatever 2-drop and destroy. We can also use Ritual 3 here if we need to get Death just a little bit cheaper. Turn 6, Death, Juggernaut, Ritual 3, or Mockingbird, and once in a while, you can sort of do it all. This one is a beauty. It puts up a ton of power. We've played versions of this deck that were always just sort of just outside the meta. This one takes over. It is going to be weak to Mobius and Mobius, but it is very strong against almost anything else. Hell, I beat a Mobius with this just by being able to put out enough power because Dormammu was so freaking big and Juggernaut is so freaking disruptive. Before we go forward, if you're willing to hit that sub button, it would mean a lot. We've been like sort of bouncing around the 600 mark, the 22,600 mark, and we really, really are trying to get higher. If you could hit that sub button, it would really help us out as we bring you 7 days a week of Marvel Snap videos. We are very well known and loved and respected in the community, and if you'd like to be a part of that community, please hit that sub button for 7 days a week of Marvel Snap videos. We are also giving away a season pass. I'm figuring out how, damn it. All you have to do is answer the comment in the you have to sub, like, and then later in this video I'll ask you a question where you leave a comment and you can win a free Merlin. Next up, we have Toxic Bounce Mom. This is our friend Toxic Soul King's deck, and y'all know when I get a bounce deck, even if it's 9-2, that has an 82% win rate, I'm going to feature that. This one is very cool. This is actually one of the best decks I've played with with Dormammu, I think the best deck I played isn't even in this video. It's the one I put on Comic Book Click yesterday. That Morgan deck from the end of yesterday's video was actually my favorite of them. It felt the smoothest. But this one puts out a ton of power, and it doesn't really need any of the combos to win, but it has so many different combos, so many different ways to win. You can win by playing 18 demons because you have Hood, right? You have Hood and Firehair. And playing, like, turning Firehair into a rocket, which you're then going to absorb by Dormammu. And then you can get anything that you didn't absorb back by Morgan and give it +3 power. And you can replay that and bounce it. And then all doing all this, you're making the werewolf banger. This is awesome. This deck is so good. You can find Toxic streaming this list at twitch.tv/Toxic Soul King. Again, one of my favorite human beings and one of my favorite Marvel Snap players, often a top 100 player. This one needs Werewolf by Night, Morgan, Dormammu, Nico, and Sable. Morgan and Dormammu really go well together here. Firehair can be Surge, Venom, or JTF. That would be the Torres Falcon. Alright, so let's go card by card. Hood, Sable, Rocket, and Nico are your one-drop on reveals. They do two things. Well, they do several things. They move around your werewolf. When you bounce them, they're free at the end of the game to move around your werewolf and add extra power. If you destroy them, they re-trigger on Firehair, giving you extra demons, extra Sable, Rocket, or Nico triggers. And if you bring them back with Morgan, they're just real stat sticks. They also give you fodder to destroy for Dormammu. Cool. Spider-Ham is the one that doesn't move werewolf here, but it's still really good. The new Spider-Ham was very effective in this. Spider-Ham, if you missed it, was changed in the patch yesterday. He now is an activate as a 1/2, and he just makes the cards text oink. He no longer turns into a pig. He just makes the cards text oink and loses its base text, which is, both better and worse, right? It changes that it doesn't interact with Mobius anymore, but it is generally better. We have only 2 destroy outlets here, so we don't have to go all destroy here. We can, I guess 3 if you want to count Dormammu, but we have Carnage and Killmonger. We are perfectly happy to Killmonger off a bunch of our 1s and Morgan and LaFay them back. Carnage is very good for that too. You don't really want to kill anything but the 1s here, but you have 5 1s, so you should be totally fine. Firehair is just a powerful card. You get, again, extra Sable, Hood, and Rocket triggers are wild. Nico can give an extra +2. The Nico double doesn't work on Firehair, but everything else more or less does. Werewolf gets huge. You're moving around a bunch of 1s, and you have the rituals, which banish themselves, which work very well for Werewolf and getting Werewolf in a lane. Remember, please, to not end the game by sticking Werewolf in the same lane that you end up with Dormammu because of the ritual, but outside of that, you should be good to go. Beast is an amazing turn 5 play. If you go like Morgan turn 4, you can go Beast and Ritual 2 on turn 5, and then you have a bunch of free 1-drops to play at the end of the game on top of everything else. Morgan gets back the ones that you destroy, and then Dormammu comes in as just this huge body. Toxie went 9 and 2 with this, plus 17 cubes. Turn 1 is situational. Which one you pick a 1. Turn 2, Firehair, or 2 1s. Turn 3, we want Werewolf by Night, or Destroy. Turn 4, we want Destroy and Ritual 1. Sorry. If we played Werewolf by Night, we didn't destroy on 3. We want Destroy and Ritual 1 on turn 4. If we destroyed on turn 3, if we played 1, Destroy, now we can play Morgan. Cool. Turn 5, Ritual 2 and Morgan, or Ritual 2 and Beast. And then turn 6, Ritual 3, and replay cards to move that Werewolf around and win the game just by playing like a 9 to 12 power Rocket and stuff like that. This one's a beauty. I don't know how else to say it. I love this list. I love Bounce, and Bounce Destroy is like an archetype that we tried to make work. When I first came to Marvel Snap Zone over 2 years ago, I tried to build one of these with Den. Dormammu makes this a real deck. Straight up, this is a real deck. This is a deck that competes. It puts up real power. It can beat real decks. Play it, live it, love it, enjoy it. Hey, there's a tournament for Pride happening this Saturday and Sunday, June 28th and June 29th. The details are on the Power On Discord, but you can join by using the QR code. If you'd like, if you're a member of the LGBTQ community or an ally, please come participate in that tournament. Both Arishem and Thanos are banned, but everything else is legal. If you'd like to participate, Marvel Snap tournaments are the best. Go check it out. Our friend Gregor2424 is hosting. Power On is sponsoring. It's awesome. Next up, we have Teebs Master Mamu. So our friend Teebs, who casted one of the best casters in the game, one of the best players and deck builders around. Teebs casted the second Golden Gauntlet tournament toward the end of the Swiss rounds. Genuinely great player. Created yet another version of the Death Dormammu. This one isn't going the Mockingbird route. It's instead sort of trying to like mess with opponents with Clog a little bit. This is one that I'm sharing with you. You can play it right now, right? But like if your opponent uses their Killmonger, your debris gets so much value in this game. You can stop them from being able to like do things, and you can double debris with Grandmaster and Misery. Again, you have to draw out their Killmonger first. They have to play their Killmonger first, but they're just going to play it early, fairly often, because they need to get the Destroy out for the rituals, right? And you don't need to, like, even if you debris and they Killmonger it, if you do that in a side lane, you can still Grandmaster it or Misery it, and you can still get those rocks that can ruin their entire day. Those clogs are real strong right now. You can find Teebs at twitch.tv/Teebs. This deck needs Dormammu and Misery. Nico can be X23, and Grandmaster can be an extra 1-drop, although Grandmaster is excellent here. Nico has the same uses as always: turn something into a demon, make a copy of a key card, destroy, and draw 2. Zabu is great here. We only have 2 4s, but Shang-Chi for 3 is just so important because the last ritual is a 3. So that gives you access to Shang and a 3, which is huge. Misery as a 3 is nice. You can play with a 2-drop on turn 5, but it's not nearly as pivotal. I want Hood here, but you can only fit so much. We have the Destroy cards, Carnage, Killmonger, Venom. They do the same thing. They have all video. No point explaining that again. Grandmaster is amazing here. A turn 4 of Grandmaster and Carnage, or like being able to like Grandmaster Misery in order to get an extra Destroy that way. All of that is insanely strong. Grandmastering Venom to move that Venom before a Shang gets it. All that is really good. Grandmaster is a huge surprise card that wins a lot of cubes in this. I played it. It felt real smooth. Wolverine might or might not be right here. Might want to be X23. Pick your poison. Debris offers you Clog. Your opponent will often get 3 things in a lane in order to then destroy it. When they do that, you can clog them with Debris and win the game, basically. Debris also gives you something to Killmonger on your own side in order to get a cheap death. Killmonger, blah. Venom, blah. Shang, power must be controlled, hopefully for 3 cost. Misery can hit anything. If you need to Shang early, opponents will often just play more big stuff there. Try and Shang in a side lane, because Grandmaster and Misery give you extra access there. They also give you extra access to Debris, or Zabu, or Nico. Dormammu is big, and death is free. Alright, so turn 1, Zabu or Nico. Turn 2, Wolverine or ones. Turn 3, Destroy over Debris, and you ritual here next turn. Turn 4, Carnage and Grandmaster or Misery. Turn 5, Misery and the ritual number 2. Turn 6, Ritual 3, and suddenly Dormammu is out, so you play Ritual 3, and either Shang-Chi or Venom or like Debris or something to really mess with the opponent. Again, great list. Props to Teebs for coming up with it. Hey, I don't know if I'm streaming tonight. I'm going to try, because Marvel Mystic Mayhem? Let's call it Mystic Mayhem. Marvel Mystic Mayhem comes out tonight, and I really want to try that on stream. So I'm going to try to stream tonight, but no promises. If I can make it, great. If not, I'll be streaming tomorrow at twitch.tv/PulseGlazer to go over the OTA with some special guests. So make sure you come check that out. My Season Pass question is simple. If you'd like to win a Season Pass, what are your Dormammu impressions? Also, if you'd like to win a PAX code, I think I have the very best Dormammu deck, my favorite Dormammu deck, in the video on Click. Once a week, I'm doing the new card video to help my friend's channel out. We're kicking butt. We're already at 500 subscribers from 100 in 2 weeks. So go support there, and you can win a PAX code for your troubles. Don't forget to check out our stream at twitch.tv/PulseGlazer. That's me. All right, finally, we finished with Roram, Golden Gauntlet 2 Champions version of Thanos. He swears by this. I asked him how it was, and he went, "Oh, Thanos is broken. This is the best home for it." I played Thanos with Dormammu, and I was not impressed, largely because I could not get draw stones. So when you see draw stones, this deck feels completely broken. When you don't see draw stones, Also, Dormammu's rituals make it so that Mind Stone on 1 will clog your draw, which is a negative. But look, Roram's kicking all sorts of butt with this, and he's a brilliant player, so this is probably really freaking good. You can find Roram at twitch.tv/RoramPlays. This deck needs Thanos, Dormammu, and Mockingbird. Nico can be X23, and Surge can be Firehair. So Nico, again, gives you access to the draw, gives you access to turning stones into demons. All that stuff is very useful. Our Destroy cards here are very simply the same 3 as always. Carnage, Venom, Killmonger, you get the idea. When you destroy, however, Angel is going to pop in, which leaves you a second card in a lane, especially if it's Killmonger that destroyed. A second card in a lane, that is a perfect lane for Dormammu 3. It's hard to find all the energy to play the ones and the destroy cards or the rituals, and Surge gives you a way to do that. Juggernaut, again, we want that 3-drop finisher. That's Juggernaut in this deck. Surge can help Shang be a 3-drop finisher as well. Venom is your key for your power destroy. Shang is, this deck doesn't put up the most power, puts up a lot of power, but not the most. Shang says power must be controlled. Mockingbird is often very cheap. Thanos is cheap and gives you all the draw and all the other cool stuff that this deck does. Death is often free in this list. And then, of course, Dormammu is like a 7, 18, 19. So, again, Roram, a champion player, says this is the best. Turn 1, draw over Nico. Turn 2, Surge or Carnage or a draw. Turn 3, destroy 1 and Ritual 1. Turn 4, destroy 2 and Ritual 2. Turn 5, Mockingbird and Ritual 3. Turn 6, Death and Thanos. Bada bing, bada boom. Roram's mom is inevitable. Or mom, ooh, that is. I hope you enjoy this list. I think that if you like Thanos, this is like a new list. Thanos Destroy is something we kept trying to make meta and never quite got there. I think that this is, again, a real meta list, thanks to the presence and addition of Dormammu. Bounce Destroy is a real meta list, thanks to the presence and relevance of Dormammu. Morgan Le Fay is a real meta card, thanks to the prevalence and relevance of Dormammu. The destroy sort of cook versions of decks are now real and serious because of Dormammu. This is absolutely a serious, powerful card, one that I'm very, very excited to share with you with these 4 great decks. Question of the day. Caretix Lee says, in previous years, Marvel Snap has given us Pride exclusive variants and Twitch drops, from what I remember, to celebrate Pride. How would you like to see them celebrate Pride again? If also haven't seen anything data mines or videos referencing Pride giveaway events, I was wondering if you're aware of any. I personally love to see there be an imbalance patch for bounties featuring great characters, unique border, callback, and Marvel Snap feature proud LGBT content creators on their socials as they've done in the past with other creators. I didn't actually think of that last one, but I'll tell you a thing I just did. I decided to reach out to Second Dinner and try and push them to do something about the Pride tournament. So I will see if anything comes of that. But there is also a code in the game. They were planning on doing Twitch drops to give us a Pride Iceman, but Twitch drops are broken for the month because of the switch over to the shop. So instead, they made it a code, Pride 2025, all caps, no spaces. If you put that in the web shop, you will get the Iceman variant, some really cool borders, and even last year's Sera and Angel Pride variants. So they are doing something. Let's see if we can push them to do a little more. We should celebrate Pride some more, right? Pride's amazing. Search your support on our Patreon comes on there. Thanks. If you're interested, please check out patreon.com/snapjudgments. It would mean a lot if you decided to do so. First, our patron of the month for another few days is Bricks2Click. We will be going to our next patron of the month this coming Saturday. Get ready for a marathon stream, baby! Thank you to Abigail Gieslin, Hey AG, Mandatory Burnout, The Burnout, It Regardless, Always Kind, LAB Inc. I am Frostman, getting ready to stream, baby. I don't know why I'm saying baby after everything. I'm going to stop that now. Hota Neverete, baby. Damn it! Prime Brian. Prime Mine App, Ryan Burke, hey Berkey, he won a PAX code, Ryan Wood Snap on YouTube, Ren Wrench, hey Ren, Caretix Lee, the king of questions, who we just got a great question from, Koirei, Kazushi, wonderful people, Koirei, didn't stop by stream, but we had a great talk, Kazushi stopped by stream, but he hasn't messaged me in a while, Archangel 3K, cleaning out K-Town, then we've got Black Dahlia, Alliance Leader 1, Pyro, who I was just talking to before I started recording, Alliance Leader 2, Goatsy, the Goat Seeker, Alliance Leader 3, and Code, who I talked to yesterday, Alliance Leader 4. Hallowed, Only Fox, the only Fox we need, Synth, Fat Nerd, Absolute Shannon, hey Shan, Nightmare, Stark in here, wake up, Dirty Casual Filthy, Mr. Kerfuffle, Cables, coming in hot, Ginger Prime, hey Ginger, Philip Brackfitch, Haplo, it's Haploning, Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone, The Beza, Black Jeebus 23, look at those notorious folks. Extra G and Skippy G, rhyming friends. Happy you're back, Skippy. Hopefully you continue to play. Jessica Gamble, Sup Jess, Mr. Slush Death, The King of Bros, Bruh, The Great Kazoo, Werewolf, Steve-O, 131, Kivs, The Hoda, Clam, Colonel Forbin, Rob Zillman, David G. Wingfield, Steven, Brian Kaufman, Tristan H. Martin, Jason B., Mr. Craig Stereo, and special guest Matt V., and now Corey. Real name town is huge. Corwin, John Q, and Jimmy Q, Cute Town, Get Stout. Eve, Sage, One Big Man, Milkman for Reels. The best Foley is Cactus Jack, Reapzer, Yo Marco, and our new friend next to Yo Marco, Ted Bro. Thank you both. Welcome to the show, Ted Pro. Quid Bro Joe. We now have O sounds all in a row. Snap Decisions Joe. Check out the Snap Decisions podcast. That doesn't rhyme with it, but his name is Joe. Dick Carlo. Look at all the O's. Crazy. DeCarlo220 on Twitch, please. Models Mod Supreme. Bickety Boom Bot. Who just crushed it in the Snap Judgments League, by the way, making the top 4. Green Goblin, Unibot V2, check him out on YouTube. Flan56, the Flan Man. Spectrumix, who? Acu, it's Ocularis. Matt H. DJ, Mikey Hutchins, don't frickin' flex. Nick, the Greek Geek, who's got to get me that flyer. The Greek Geek. Toxic Soul King, who we saw a deck from earlier. Nick and Toxie are on Twitch. Zodrux74, the King of Hello, JJ. Den Man Falcon, check him out on YouTube. Fuck Thornton Newman, Twitch and YouTube. He'll be streaming as you watch this if you want to go check him out, or pretty soon after. Check him out on Twitch. Jonesy Snap from the always hilarious Triple Threat. Two Ties for the 5th of July. The Great Lord Woodhevs of the Snap on this podcast. The Pirate King Tucker of Twitch and YouTube, and also his own podcast. And of course, Skinny T, where the T stands for he's going to make a video while I'm away. Hopefully, you all have a wonderful, wonderful time. And I'll see you tomorrow for 2, maybe 3, I don't know. Who's to say? A ridiculous amount of videos. Much love. Peace.